What's going on, guys? John Elder here from codingbee.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to start using databases with TKinter and Python. Alright, in the last video we looked at drop-down menus. In this video I want to start to talk about how to use databases with TKinter and Python, and this is likely to take several videos. It's a pretty big topic. And we're going to be using the Sqlite database for this, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out codingbee.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $27, which is insanely cheap. Okay, databases. Up until now, we've been having some fun with TKinter, but adding a database to any type of program vastly improves the sort of power of that program. You can do a lot of stuff with databases what you just can't do without. So, likely whatever you build ever, you're going to need a database. So we're going to start looking at how to use a database with TKinter. So we're going to use the Sqlite 3 database, which comes with Python. So it's super easy to use. Most people don't even realize it comes with Python. And it's not very powerful. It's not like MySQL or Postgres, but it's great for small projects, test projects, hobby projects, things like that. And if you learn how to use it, it's really easy to learn how to use MySQL and Postgres after that. So it'll be easy to sort of switch over if you need something more powerful. So to use Sqlite with our TKinter program, all we have to do is import it. And it's almost ridiculous how easy it is to import this. All we have to do is type in import Sqlite 3, and boom, we now have Sqlite database in our program. Very cool. All we have to do now is connect to it and start using it. So I've created a new file called database.py. I have the same basic starter code that we've been using forever. So the first thing we need to do is create a database or connect to one that already exists. And the commands for both are the same. So let's go create a database or connect to one. And to do that, we create a connection to the database. And so we just create a variable, call it anything you want, but I'm going to call it con, short for connection. And we're going to set it equal to Sqlite3.connect. And then inside of here, we just pass in the name of the database we want to connect to or create. So I think in the next few videos, we're going to create a basic sort of address book app, right? So let's create a database called address_book.db. So this doesn't exist yet, right? We haven't created it yet. Oops. But like I said, if it doesn't already exist, this command will create it for us. And it'll actually save it in whatever directory we're currently in. So we've been saving all of our code in these videos in the GUI directory. So it'll save address_book.db in the GUI directory. Super easy, super cool. So the next thing we need to do is create a cursor. And a cursor is sort of like the little thing you send off to do stuff with the database. So anytime we want to execute any sort of command, the cursor does that. We send it off and it does it, comes back with the result. That's the cursor. And same thing, we just create a variable. I'm going to call it C for cursor. You tend to type it a lot, so I don't want to type out cursor every time. So just call it C. Easy to type for all of you lazy people that are just as lazy as me. So cursor. Okay, so this is a cursor instance, I guess. So let's go create cursor. Okay. And anytime we make a change to our database, we want to commit those changes to the database. That's just a common database thing. So to do that, we just go con.commit. So let's go commit changes. And then finally, whenever we're done, we always want to close our connection. And we don't really have to. Whenever the program ends, our connection closes automatically, but it's sort of just the polite thing to do to explicitly close your database connection. So we just go con.close, and that is that. Okay, so we've got our cursor, we've got our database created. Now we need a table. If you know anything about databases, you know a database isn't really anything. It's the tables inside that do all the work, hold all the data. And it's the table that we're always interacting with. And think of a table as a spreadsheet. It has columns and rows. And we just need to designate what those columns are. And then every time we add an entry, that becomes a new row, right? So think like first name, last name, address, zip code. those are all columns in the database table. So we need to create that table and designate those columns. And so that's what we're going to do now. Let's go create table. Okay, so to do that, we use our cursor. We always use our cursor. And usually when we do stuff to the database, we're executing some sort of command. So we almost always want to go execute here. And then inside of here, we need to, do some SQL, structured query language, SQL commands to do whatever we want to do. And in this case, we want to create a table. Now, usually you just put quotation marks and then you type in your commands. But since we're creating a table, tables are kind of big. There's going to be a lot of stuff for us to type here. I'm going to use these doc type string things. And it's just 6 quotation marks. It's an open and a close quotation marks. And like I said, this allows us to do stuff on multiple lines. Otherwise, you could use single quotes and do it all in one line. So what we want to do is create a table, right? And now we need to name it. So let's call our table addresses, right? And now inside of these parentheses, we need to just designate the different columns that we want. So let's go, we want a first name. And now we need to designate the data type. And so this is going to be text. Now, the cool thing about Sqlite is it only has 5 data types. And those are text, which is just text, integers, which are whole numbers, 10, 15, 108, real, which are decimal numbers, 1995, 2795, that sort of thing, null, which means does it exist or does it not exist, and blob. And blobs are like image files, video files, things like that. So pretty simple. Databases usually have a lot more data types, and it's always kind of complicated, but you only ever use a few, right? Text and numbers, basically. So that's one of the cool things about Sqlite. So we have first name. We want last underscore name as well, and that'll be text. We want the address, and that's text. And you'll notice I'm separating each one with a comma, and that's pretty simple. Address, let's go city, that's a text. Let's go state, that's text. And let's go zip code, and that's going to be an integer. Okay, so it's the last one. We don't have to put a comma at the end of that. I'll just sort of do this to make this look good, and boom, there we go. Now we could have used single quotes and put all of those on one long line, but it's really hard to read. This is much easier to read, so that's why we use those triple quotation marks. Okay, so I misspelled execute. It looks like execute. Man, that was hard. Execute. There we go. Okay, so we only need to run this once. We need to create our table one time. We need to commit those changes, close our connection. So I'm just going to save this, head over to our terminal here, and we want python database.py. If we run it, this box pops up. There's nothing in here because we haven't done anything yet, so we can just go ahead and close it. And now, if I pull up a little thing here and go into my C drive and look at GUI, you see now this addressbook.db database file exists. It created it for us. Inside of it, presumably, it has the table that we just created as well. We won't really know till the next video when we start putting data in and see whether or not it worked to find out if it did work, but I think it worked. That's pretty simple code right there. So in the next video, we'll start to build out our TKinter app with fields and stuff so we can type in people and their addresses to add to the database, and that should be cool. I should mention very quickly, on my website, I've got an entire course on Sqlite with Python. So if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of this, check that out. It's $29 for the course. But of course, if you sign up for total membership using that coupon code YouTube, you get all of my courses for just $27, in which case you'll get this one for free. And it's an hour and a half long, 22 videos, and it has all the stuff in much greater detail. We're not going to go into great detail in these videos right here. I'm just going to show you some basic stuff, and you can learn more later if you want. But definitely worth checking out if you're interested in all this database stuff. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube to get $22 off membership. You pay just $27 to access all my courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 50,000 students learning to code. My name is John Elder from codemy.com. See you in the next video.